isang number, tatlo yung questions. So for example, sa ganito na problem. So ang unang tanong niya, what is the x component of the resultant force? So yun yung una. Yun yung ginawa natin sa mission of force anong x. Pangalawa, meron din siyang tanong na what is the component of the resultant force anong y? Kaya kinuha natin ry. Then, yung pangatlong tanong is what is the resultant force? So minsan ganyan yung tanong sa board exam. So it's not necessarily na closed polygon agad yung gagamitin mo. Pag case-to-case basis din, depende dun sa question. Okay? So sa closed polygon, sabi nga dun sa Turing, di ba? So in order to have an equilibrium situation, kailangan yung forces mo is in a closed polygon. Okay? So, mas maganda dito sa problem na talaga i-apply kaysa magpaliwanag dun sa theory. Okay, so,
problem ka na magpaliwanag.
Sa problem dito. Okay? So, how to do this closed polygon? So, ang gagawin natin is i-connect natin yung forces. Okay, so for example, here we have the P and Q, right? So we'll start to plot P, and then we will plot the Q and connect the diagonals. Okay, so for example, here we'll start with this one problem. It's either Q or P ang mauna. Okay, for me, I will start with P. So ang technique ko dyan, di ko alam sa iba. So ang technique ko dyan, para mas madali, gagawa ko ng ganyan. This is my reference point. Tapos, so I will plot P. So P is 20 degrees from x-axis, di ba? So P is ganyan. So this is what? This is 20 degrees, di ba? Tama ba ako, guys?
Opo.
So this is P. Yan. Tapos, lagyan natin yan ng arrow. So, yan yung direction ng P. Then the direction of Q. So, before you will plot the Q, gawa ulit tayo ng parang reference point. Yan. Okay? So, yan. So, Q is how much? 45 degrees from the horizontal. So, 45 degrees from the horizontal. So, this is our Q. Okay? So, this is what? This is 45 degrees. Okay? So, sabi dun sa theorem, sa theory, yung resultant force is we'll connect the first point to the last point. Yan. Yan. So ito yung resultant natin. Okay? May tanong ba dito kung paano nabuo ito? Hello? Tatanungin ko nga ito. Sino bang... Clear ba?
Clear
Okay.
daw.
So, clear. Okay. Okay. Ngayon, pag nabuo nyo na yan, so, ang gawin natin, isolate natin yung triangle. Natin dito. Yan dyan. Gumanon siya. Tapos, gumanon siya. Okay. So, this is P. This is Q. This is R. Okay? Now, in order to solve, okay, so P is 40. Q is 60. Diba? Now, in order to solve for R, balikan natin yung theory ng triangle. So, sa mga advanced na nag-aral diyan, anong law ng ano ang ma-apply natin dito to solve for R? Balikan natin itong theory ng triangle. Ito. So, yes, tama, Engineer Ranchi. We should use the cosine law. Okay? So, dito sa cosine law, okay? For example, ito yung R natin. This is P, this is Q. So, R is the unknown. P and Q are given, and this gamma is we can solve for gamma, so we can solve for R. So the formula is C squared equals this formula. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. So, given yung P, given yung Q, these are the two sides, and this is the opposite side. So, the first unknown that we're going to calculate is this angle. What is this angle? Okay? So, sino makakasagot? Anong angle ito? What is this angle? May 200. Ayan, dito.
Correct. Tama.
105, 155. Ano pa iba dyan? Okay, so 155, 205. Okay ba? So what is this angle? So this is the angle, right? This is the angle. Okay. So, okay, we will solve ako. Kasi may 205, merong 155. So we're going to solve. If this is 20, this is also 20, right? Tama ba ako? This is also 20, right? Yes, okay, tama. So if this is 45, so this will be also, this is also 45. Tama? Tama, hindi. Tama, di ba? So since this is orthogonal, so 90 degrees ito. 90 degrees. Okay. So yung angle, say for example, if this is, we will call it beta. We will call it beta. Okay. So beta equals 45 plus 90 plus 20. Tama ba ako? So beta is 45 plus 90 plus 20. Okay? So 45 plus 90 plus 20. So 155 degrees. So beta is 155 degrees. Okay, so tama. So yung iba dyan na sumagot ng 205. Yan. Okay lang yan. So beta is 155 degrees. So again, if we're going to solve for the resultants, we will use the cosine law. So ito pa ba tayo? So ganyan siya, di ba? This is R. This is Q equals 60. This is P equals 40. And the angle here is 155 degrees. Okay? So kung applyan natin yung ng law of cosine, tayo. Ayan. Applyan natin kung applyan natin yan ng law of cosine, if this is C, this is beta, this is A, and this is B. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of beta. So ito yung gagamitin natin. This is the cosine law. So if we're going to apply here dito sa diagram natin. So C is R, di ba? So C is R. So R squared equals P squared plus Q squared minus 2P Q cosine beta. Tama ba? So R squared equals P is 40 squared plus Q squared na 60 squared minus 2 times 40 times 60 cosine 155. So solving for R, just take the square root. Okay, so calculate natin. So mayroon na kayong sagutan, 97.73. So 40 squared plus 60 squared minus 2 times 40 times 60 cosine of 155. Yeah. Equals, then the square root of answer is correct. So 97.73 kilonewton. So match, di ba, dun sa answer, Sir Louis. So it is 97.7. That's correct. Then solving for the angle, we will solve the angle. So from this diagram, so our reference is horizontal. So this is the angle, right? We will call it theta. We will call it theta. This angle. And we will call this angle, as alpha. Alpha. Okay? So, and this P is, this is 20 degrees, right? This is 20 degrees. So from the diagram, ang theta, which is we are going to solve, is 20 degrees plus alpha. Okay, so we are going to use we are going to calculate alpha. So how to calculate alpha? It's either you can use sine law or cosine law. So we will try to use both. Okay? So tanggalin natin yung triangle na yan sa ganyan. Yan. So this is 60, this is 40, and this is 97.73. Okay, so this angle is alpha. This is 155. Okay, and this is not yet known, this angle. So we have only this given values. So if we're going to use the sine law in solving alpha, so ang sine law kasi is opposite over the sine of the angle. So for example here, if we're going to calculate alpha, so from the sine law, so sine alpha over the opposite of 60 equals, ang i-equate mo yung merong pares din. So you cannot equate 40 with this unknown. So since meron namang unknown dito na 97 yung resultant saka yung opposite angle. So sine 155 over 97.73. Okay, so alpha equals the inverse sine, the arc sine of 60 by cross multiplication, 60 sine 155 over 97.23. Okay, so what is the value of alpha? What is the value of alpha? Okay, so yung sumagot dito si Engineer Kat, Engineer Roxanne, 15.038. Okay, so we will check from this equation. So 60 sine of 155 divided by 97.73, then shift sign of answer is 15.03. So it's correct. So 15.03 degrees. So theta, from this equation, theta is 20 degrees plus alpha. So theta is 20 degrees plus 15.03. So theta is 35.03 degrees from the horizontal. Dito. So correct. So the same doon sa answer ni Engineer Louie. Okay? So you have meron kayong questions so far? We will solve also by the law of cosine. So depende na sa inyo kung ano yung komportable sa inyo. Okay? So if we were going to solve it by the law of cosine, so isolate muna ulit natin yung triangle. So this is 97.73. This is 40. This is 60. And this is alpha. This is we're going to find. This is 155 degrees. So we're going to solve for alpha. So alpha is unknown, but the opposite side is given, and the two adjacent sides are given also. So we can solve it by law of cosine also. Diba? So from the law of cosine, diretso na lang natin kasi na-discuss na natin kanina. From the law of cosine, so it will be 97, no. So the square of the opposite side, so if this alpha is unknown, so the opposite side is 60. So the square of the opposite side, this is 60 squared, okay, equals the sum of the squares of the two adjacent sides. So 97.73 squared plus 40 squared minus 2 times 27.73 times 40 cosine of alpha. Okay, so may question ba dito? O saan galing itong formula na ito? Okay, so isi-simplify natin. So cosine alpha, okay, by algebra, so 97.73 squared plus 40 squared minus 60 squared over 2 times 97.73 times 40. Tama ba? So alpha equals the inverse cosine of this value. So alpha equals, calculate natin. So 97.73 squared plus 40 squared minus 60 squared, okay, divided by 2 times 97.73 times 40. Then shift cosine. I'm sorry. So 15. So it's just the same. So 15 degrees. So same lang. So the theta is plus 20 degrees. So theta is 20 plus 15 degrees. So theta is 35 degrees from the horizontal. Okay, so nasa sa inyo na yun kung ano yung mas comfortable sa inyo. But as I have experienced nga, sa napansin ko, if we're going to solve for angle, gamitin nyo yung law of cosine. Kasi yun nga, yung law of sine is hindi siya nagbibigay ng angle more than 90 degrees. Okay? So, do you have questions? May tanong ba?
Guys, questions.
Hindi ba itong mga patulog-tulog dito?
May i-add ako, engineer.
Sige, engineer.
Ito yung, I'm just adding yung, kung ano yung nakatulong sa akin to understand this topic. Okay? Kung ano dati yung nakakalito sa akin, kina-clarify ko lang. Bakit pwede nating i-transfer yung 60 na force? Bakit pwede nating gawin yon? From original figure, transfer natin siya sa dulo ng 40. Dito po na-apply yung principle of transmissibility. Ito po yung tawag. Ang definition po ng transmissibility, the state of rest or of motion of a rigid body is unaltered if a force acting on a body is replaced by another force of the same magnitude and direction. Yung 60 hindi po natin iniba. 60 pa rin yung magnitude niya, yung angle niya 45. Kaya wala po tayong hindi nire-respeto sa principle at laws. So kaya naging tama siya kasi ano pa din yung foundation ng law at principles ng mechanics. So dapat maintindihan po natin to. Kasi kung nag-transfer to, yung tanong ko kasi dati, tama ba itong ginagawa ko?
Yung kino-connect-connect.
Tama ba to? Hindi ako comfortable. So, nung inintindi ko lahat ng principles at law ng static mechanics, alam ko na tama. Hindi na ako nagdududa sa ginagawa ko. So, again, go back to the foundation, the principle. Ito po yung principle of transmissibility at yung closed polygon po. Yan po yung sinabi ni Engineer Ariel kanina. Kung ano yung magko-close sa forces, yun po yung resultant ng lahat ng forces. Yun lang po.
The best talaga si Engineer Edwin. Okay, so meron bang questions before we will move to second sample problem?